So I've got a beef with some commenters on my channel. And so, to highlight that, we're going to start a new series, Bret's Hot Takes, where I complain about something in the band world. Because nothing gets YouTube views more like somebody complaining about something, so let's just get some stuff off my chest. The first topic, the first video we're going to talk about, well, the first thing we're going to talk about is this thing right here. This is a bass clarinet. Invariably, about once a week, I get a comment somewhere on the channel saying, actually, it should really be called a tenor clarinet. Now, the rationale behind calling it a tenor clarinet is, well, it's in B flat. It's just like a tenor saxophone. It uses a tenor saxophone reed. If, in a pinch, if you don't have a bass clarinet reed, it transposes the same. It's down a major ninth. But you can't go renaming instruments based on what another instrument in a different family does. Instrument names need to reflect function. Function, function, function is the key element here. And what is this instrument's function? It plays the bass. That's always been its function. It's got this rich, meaty sound down in its low register. It starts to thin out in its upper register, and it doesn't function very well as a true tenor instrument. Even though it shares the same transposition as the tenor saxophone. Now, to give you an idea, I'm going to play the tenor saxophone's lowest note on this bass clarinet. That's a concert A flat right at the bottom of the bass clef. Now, this bass clarinet is a low E flat instrument. It goes down a perfect fifth below that. And those are some of the most used notes on the instrument. So, another thing that people, talk about is, well, we've got the Contra Alto clarinet, or sometimes called an E-flat contrabass clarinet. That's really the bass. I mean, they would just call this the tenor, and then we've got our alto, and so on and so forth, just like the saxophones. But again, function. What role does the Contra Alto clarinet do? Or as it really should be called, a great bass clarinet. It's to beef up the bass, typically an octave lower, as does the contrabass. What is the tenor clarinet? Well, I've got one right here. It's in E flat. It's pitched a fifth above this one. Now, if we use our same low note that the tenor sax played, so the tenor saxophone's lowest note was in concert A flat. Well, the alto clarinet, alto, can go one whole step below that, pretty much matching the tenor saxophone's range note for note. And it plays really nicely into that upper register, and it sings as a tenor. In fact, some of the earliest names for this instrument were not alto clarinet, but tenor clarinet. So historically, this is our tenor voice. This is our bass. Don't go trying to rename this instrument here the tenor clarinet just because it's in B flat. It is a bass. It functions as a bass. It's always functioned as a bass. And that's what it does best. So, Bret's hot take, don't call this a tenor clarinet. That's not what it is. That's not very controversial, but to some of the commenters on my channel, I guess it may be. So I'll do another one of these next week, and we'll go into a much more controversial topic: marching band.